We are going to do this conversation with the perspective that we're meeting at a club, that we have not really been dating, that we both showed up to a club and we're relatively new to each other. We've known each other in community, like we know who each other is. We're not strangers, but we haven't interacted sexually or sensually. And we're in an environment where we could take action immediately, or we could choose to leave and go to a secondary location. Or we could choose not to do anything, or we could choose to perhaps come and meet at this same place again because it's a place that we both live close enough to travel to again. So, Ken, you want to kick it off?
So yeah, hi.
Hey.
So I was wondering if you were open to having a kind of a semi-structured conversation about what it is you might be open to and what your boundaries are, what you're looking for here tonight or in the near future or tonight.
I mean, semi-structured kind of sounds unsexy. Do we have to?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I wouldn't want to get into a sexual experience with you without knowing enough about you to, you know,
We were pretty
uh,
sexual on the dance floor.
yup, that was some good stuff. But going beyond that, I would definitely want to know about more about what your needs and wants are and what boundaries you have. I mean,
Okay.
we could just walk into it blind, theoretically, but I don't think that's the best chance of success.
Success. Okay. It's all sounding a little rigid.
Well,
Do you like,
I
what do
don't
you
know.
mean
Do you like
semi-structured?
rigid or not? I could
Oh,
either way.
okay. Okay, now you have my attention. You have my attention now. I will take a helping of rigid. Sure. Okay, okay. I see where you're going here. Do you have some kind of like you said structure like do you have a format or something?
Yeah, I do. I have a format. I mean, it's not like we're going to be going through a checklist exactly, but some topics that are worthwhile discussing before we get into anything. And if you're up for it, I can start.
Yeah, that would be great. I have no idea what to say,
Yeah,
so
no
go for
problem,
it.
no problem. So I'm going to start. I want to first get an understanding of what, and let you get an understanding of what my relationship dynamics are. I'm polyamorous. There's nobody out in the world who's got any say in what I do sexually day to day and relationally. I have autonomy over my own relationships. And so that's kind of the information. Like where are you in relationships?
Well, I'm in a relationship. It's open. I mean, we don't have like a lot of rules or anything. Like we're just open like regular. Like, I mean,
Like
I'm not a sex
regular?
club, so like, I mean,
There's a certain
I mean,
expectation
clearly
you
I'm
think that,
here, right? So,
and so and what does open mean to you?
I mean, I mean, I'm available. I'm available and like I'm currently like looking to interact with people.
Hmm. Okay. But you're not looking for specifically new relationships or anything. I mean, I'm not
Oh, I mean, I
either.
can't do
I'm
that. I'm not like looking for feelings.
okay.
I don't want
Gotcha.
to like get like you said polyamorous. Like I'm not a hippie. I'm not going to live in your house. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right.
Like I'm in a sex club for a reason.
Okay. So,
Casual, no strings. Like my partner knows I'm here.
and there's nobody in the wings who's going to be judging or who has like say or decision making over whether you whatever it is you decide to do tonight.
Well, I mean, I mean, not decision making. It's up to me, but I mean, I have like, I can't just do, I mean, I do have to like, how do I explain it? Yeah. So we're open, but there are some like rules. We don't call them rules. I don't really know. This is kind of confusing.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
available, but I don't know. Like, what do you mean? I mean, it is my
Well,
partner has stopped me from having sex with people. Like he's here at the party, but he's not gonna like we're not playing together tonight.
mhm.
So
Okay. So that kind of brings us to, I think you've described your relationship um, structure fairly well. And that um, kind of bumps us up against what our next topic of conversation is, which would be boundaries. What are no's? And I'm hearing you describe maybe um, you're not the only one who has no's for you, which
my
that's
part,
the way things are sometimes.
yeah, I mean my partner and I have some like basic understanding about like where the edges are. Like no anal, no like not and like no fluids. Like I'm not swallowing any fluids. I'm not accepting any fluids. I don't want fluids on my body. Like I understand like fluids happen, but not
Right.
like not excessive fluids. Like I'm not looking for that.
Okay, great. So this is exactly like why this is a good conversation to have. So now we know that,
Okay.
and I know that, and I can factor that into what we do and don't do.
Okay.
Excellent.
What about
Um,
you? Wait, you said
yep.
nobody's making your decision, but you must have some
Well,
like,
I have my own desires. I have my own wants and needs from a sexual experience. And for me, the no anal works for me. I could go either way, but I tend to lean away from it. So we've got no problems there. I'm in an interest of reducing fluid exchange again. Um, I think that even though I'm actually not looking to get into oral tonight.
okay, okay, that's unusual. It feels like everybody's always looking for that first.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not where I'm going tonight. And how's that land for you?
Well, actually, it's really easy because it feels like cis guys never want to wear condoms for oral, and I like
Ah,
since we're just hooking up right now. Well, I don't know whether we are, but like if we are, then it's just for now. So I would need that, and that feels like it's been a deal breaker like so frequently. So honestly,
so
that's great. I we can just take it off the table, and then
yep.
I don't have to think about that. So cool.
So possibly we're at another boundary of yours, barriers. Sounds like you're
Yeah.
gonna want one.
Yeah,
I mean, me
have to use
too.
barriers.
Yep.
Definitely.
Right.
I mean, I don't with so I have a partner who I don't use barriers with, but everybody else. I'm like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. I'm a safety girl.
Right. Well, that's good. I appreciate that. And just for your information, I only look like a cis guy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
Sorry.
am a cis guy, but I I guess I should say I only look like a hetero guy.
Okay.
That
Oh,
way
I don't think I've been with any bi guys.
you can factor that into your overall image of the scene.
Huh. Well, now I have other questions because the
Well,
whole
we can
idea of a
get to
male
those.
unicorn just popped into my head. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to look for unicorns, but like, I mean, since you brought it up. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. That's like
So,
actually another conversation because my partner's not here and we can't talk about that, but
all right.
I'm
Well,
actually
keep it in
more
mind.
intrigued now. Okay, okay.
Um, so are there other boundaries for you? Because the thing is, for some people, me being bi is a boundary, and they're like, "Oh yeah, never mind."
No, that sucks. I hate that. No,
Well, I
that's not a boundary
appreciate
for
that.
me. But I do have, I don't know that I would have thought of this as a boundary, but I have a time boundary. I turn into a pumpkin at 1 a.m.
That is absolutely, there we go. Good. Good to
Okay.
know. Hmm.
Okay. And
And you,
like, even if we're in the middle of things, like my alarm's gonna go off and
mhm.
I have to get up and leave immediately. Like my alarm's set for 12:30 and that is it.
Well,
Whatever we're doing doesn't matter. You could be 5 seconds from coming, doesn't matter.
well, I
Doesn't matter.
appreciate accountability. That's
Okay.
great.
Okay. It's kind of
Sexy.
awkward, but if I don't set
Yeah.
a timer, yeah, I'll probably fuck up and that's no good.
Well, okay. So if we're good on boundaries,
This
and
is
I
like more
think
talk than I've ever heard any dude ever offer for a conversation. So you're kind of blowing me away. Way to
again, not
go.
a dude.
Oh, sorry. Again, this is really hard. Okay.
Yeah.
This game is hard.
No, it's fun though. It's fun. And now we get okay, so let's get into some more juicy stuff. Boundaries are, we got to get that out of the way. We got to know. And some stuff came up that I wasn't necessarily going to know until, I mean, if the alarm went off and I didn't know it, I'd be like,
Yeah, that might feel really rude.
what just happened?
Especially because it's the sound of owls. So it's kind of awkward. But I need it to be like an unusual sound. So, okay. Yeah.
I like that because then I'm thinking, oh, is that erotic for you? What are we doing now? This is a new phase.
Okay.
Anyway, which brings us to desires. What do you want?
Well, so we were dancing. And the whole reason I think all of this started is that I think it seemed like both of us were looking very fondly at the corner with the St. John's Cross.
Yeah.
So honestly, since we've ruled out exchanging fluids and we've ruled out oral, I
Hmm.
think I'd rather focus on just having some like tactile experience with maybe some like maybe like light bondage, like nothing heavy. Like we don't know each other well enough to get like into really serious stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, like so maybe some like making out with some bondage, maybe even a little bit of like impacty kind of stuff.
Okay. Who were you imagining on the cross?
Well, I had been imagining me, but you've brought up some things that make me think maybe it would be fun to reverse that scenario.
We could
So,
take turns. I mean, we don't have forever, but
yeah.
keep it in mind.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. We could go on, but for brevity, let's move to, okay, great. So we know what we want. We know what we don't want. We know what we will not allow. Um, so let's talk about sexual health.
Oh, I'm clean.
Hmm. Okay. I also bathed. Um,
What
what
do
I
you
was asking about
What do
was,
you mean?
well, so um, the presence
I mean,
of
honestly,
the
if you
presence.
bathe, that's great. I like that.
I mean, I don't know, it puts me one up on some people I've seen here. Um, the presence of STIs is not a clean or dirty issue. If it's we're not looking at a trying very hard not to stigmatize issues.
Okay.
So,
I mean, okay. Does that mean you have something? Like, is that your
um,
like sneaky way of saying that you do have something?
I have HPV. It's true.
Okay.
But that's not why I bring it up. I never really, I mean, I expose that. I don't think of that. Um, no, that's not why I bring it up. I bring it up because there are people who have much more significant issues. I mean, I have other medical issues. For example, I have MS. Am I dirty?
No, of course not.
Right. So that's just it's a philosophical issue for me that
Oh, okay.
we're
Okay.
looking at. We're talking about health,
Okay.
not like moral value.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
No,
I
you didn't
sorry.
insult me. A lot. The term is used, and it's become commonplace, and people don't necessarily think about its impact.
Okay.
So I have my test results. You can see the positive for HPV and negative for everything else that they tested for.
Okay. Well, I do have test results.
Hmm.
There, I've had sex with one person since, but we did use barriers.
Hmm.
Like one other person, my partner, who I'm with all the time, I'm with all the time, but we did use barriers. The test results are about 3 months old, and I have had one interaction, all barriers, including oral.
Okay.
I don't have anything. Uh, I I show. I had the HPV vaccine, so I don't think that's a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
And plus, we're not really talking about doing anything that would really even make that, and we don't even really have to worry about that. So, yeah, I think that's fine. I think that all fits within like that feels okay.
I tend to agree that the things that we're talking about doing, they make a lot of the STI concerns um, kind of irrelevant, as long as we stay to just what we said we were going to do, and we don't
You mean I
accidentally
can't
move
tempt
into
you into
something
going a
else.
little further?
Um, if we decide that we're done with the sexual health conversation and, we're just going to put a bunch of stuff off the table because of it, then that stuff has to stay off the table for me.
Okay. I guess, I mean, it's only for one night. And like, I guess if you're back next week, then we can
We
have another
can have,
conversation.
yeah, we can get deeper into things.
Okay.
Mhm. One more piece, which I think we've already touched on, which is what will this mean to you? And I think I already know, but it would be helpful if you just stated it for yourself.
I'm looking for fun. And you were really fun on the dance floor. And I came here to get laid. And since you don't seem to want to do exactly what I thought I was going to do, like, I don't know, meaning, I mean, it would mean that you were interested in me. And I'm very turned on by the fact that you wanted to talk this all through. Um, because that's unusual. Um, but I'm not available for relationship beyond
That's
this
mhm.
anyways. So
So this is fun.
yeah.
This
So
is
just this. It will mean that we had fun here now. And maybe again next week if you happen to show up and my partner happens to be here and you happen to be feeling unicorny. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know.
all right. At which point we can have a conversation with him as well.
Okay.
All right. You first. I'll strap you up on the cross.
Okay. Deal. Deal.
And
Hey,
scene.
wait. If we're gonna do impact, wait, I didn't tell
Oh,
you something.
what's that? Oh, yes. Anything to
Okay.
stay away from, anything not to do.
Okay. So I don't usually do impact first off, but since we've been talking so deeply,
Mhm.
okay, here's the thing. Yeah, I usually don't even have to get into this so early, but like, please don't touch my throat at
Hmm.
all for any
Ah,
reason. Like, I know we didn't even talk about like choking or like, but like, no, like, just no. I don't even think of this as a
good.
boundary sometimes because like, it just, I know I'll freak out. I know I
Mhm.
will freak out. So impact itself is fine, but what I've noticed is some people will like automatically, like instinctively, like reach for a throat when they're doing like, no, just
That's
no.
not for you.
You'll
Okay.
freak me
Good.
out.
Hmm.
There's like way too much history there. And then it would definitely have a different meaning. And I would
So,
need a lot of aftercare.
okay. And that is very important for me to know. And if there's anything else that sets you off,
I mean, I
particular. So
guess,
you mentioned bondage. You mentioned light bondage,
yeah.
which suggests that you're down for that. But but that doesn't mean you're down for everything in that realm. So
Yeah.
if there are things that are going to leave you in an emotionally dysregulated state, I definitely want to know about them and stay away from them because we're going for fun tonight.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just sort of anticipate leaving these nights dysregulated. I don't even really think
Hmm.
about trying, like, that's just kind of what I'm used to. But um, we could just use like restraints that I can easily get out of. Like if a
Mhm.
scarf is just tied once that I can just wiggle out of. Honestly, that alone would make it like way easier for me to just chill out and relax. And it's, I don't know, just so frequently people have wanted to play like at a high level immediately. And I think I've just gotten used to it.
Okay.
And I just,
Yeah.
I just lean in because I'd rather play than not play. But
Gotcha.
you're asking me all these questions and I feel my heart beating really fast. And I'm like, oh, there's actually a lot of energy there. So,
So, ideally, we could take some of that energy and turn it into erotic energy according to the your needs and desires that you're just starting to dig into right now. Yeah. So light
yeah.
bondage, and I'm guessing that's kind of what you meant, like just enough, but
Yeah, just enough so that like we can play
mhm,
with the idea of it.
sure.
And honestly, if your words can match up with that, it's mostly your words that'll make a difference anyways. It's you don't even need to actually do the tying if your words are strong enough.
And that brings us to what, like, are there words that dysregulate you? Are there words that you absolutely, you know, can't hear that
No,
will,
no,
okay.
humiliation's the name of the game, so go for it.
Okay. So that makes that easy. Great. Okay.
How about you? Anything you can't hear?
Um, I think that I'm not a fan of humiliation, so I would
Okay, well, it's good you said something
I would
because
like to
we
stay
tend to
away
think.
from that on my end. Certainly as a first encounter.
Okay,
Yeah, that
okay,
wouldn't work for me.
okay. Strap me up. Let's go.